Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to this video on the Taurus Lunar Eclipse. So I see this cosmic event as one of the most powerful portals that are opening this year. So this Taurus eclipse is not only wrapping up a cycle of 2 years where we've seen eclipses happening on the Taurus-Scorpio axes, so it's bringing closure to many karmic cycles and patterns in your life. It's also happening near the North Node. So it really suggests a powerful rebirth. And as I pull up the chart, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to dive into the chart. You'll see there is so much happening cosmically right now. We are also in Scorpio season, which is always a time of deep inner transformation, where if we have the courage to go within and look at the shadow, we can really discover our power and our ability to be that master alchemist in our life. So I'm so excited to dive into these energies with you. If you are new here, new to this channel, a warm welcome. It is so wonderful to have you. If you've been on this journey with me for a while, I love and appreciate you and your support so much. It is so fun to co-create together at such a powerful time. So a little bit of background before we go into more of the details in the chart. So the eclipse portal opened up with the solar eclipse in Libra a couple of weeks ago. And this really put the spotlight on relationships, our style of connecting, the dynamics that are at play in our relationships, and what ones just simply aren't serving us anymore, where we need to strengthen our boundaries, where we may need to develop new connections. There's a lot that can clear out during eclipse season as well. And you may find during this portal that your dreams become extra vivid. We get a lot of messages in our dreams during eclipse season, a lot of divine downloads that come through in our dream state. We can also become extra aware of what our subconscious programs and patterns are, and that is such a gift. As Carl Jung said, one of my all-time favorite quotes, until we make the unconscious conscious, it will direct our life and we will call it fate. So once we become aware of the patterns, the program that's continually at play in the background of our life, and we can look at it and ask, is this a useful belief? Is this a useful thought? And if not, we can let it go and we can choose again. So eclipses really allow us to do that at an accelerated pace, to really look at what karmic cycles and themes have just outlived their purpose, and it's time that we choose again. We can also have new soul agreements that come in during eclipse season as well. So pay attention to the relationships and connections that are coming into your life at this time. Sometimes they form into lasting relationships. Sometimes it's simply a mentor that we reach out to, and we have a reading or a session with them that becomes so transformative, like such a powerful part of our path, a turning point. Sometimes it's a friend we meet at an event that says something that simply like awakens an idea within us. So the connections that come into your life right now are not accidental. The people that remain in your life, it really is an opportunity to look at what needs to be cleared away. When we have relationships that kind of come with us throughout our life journey, there does need to be a continual clearing of them, because we're constantly growing and evolving. So the person that we were a month ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, a day ago, we're not that person anymore. So we need to continually clear out the old energy so we can have relationships that feel really good and supportive and meet us on the level we are at today. So just a little bit of background. With all that being said, let us dive into the chart and look at more of the specifics surrounding this full moon. So I'm going to share my screen here so you have the visual representation. So the moon is happening in Taurus at 5 degrees, opposing the sun at 5 degrees of Scorpio. Anytime it is a full moon, there's always an opposition at play. Oppositions in astrology can feel like a pull in energy until we remember they're actually meant to work together. So the Taurus-Scorpio axes, Taurus energy is about being very grounded in our body. It's about enjoying the pleasures and beauty of this world. Whereas Scorpio is more about our inner world. It's about navigating our inner emotions and Scorpio has the ability to go to such depth of feeling and understanding that it becomes really remarkable if we have the courage to really go deep and look at the patterns, look at the shadow. From the remembrance that we can transform, we can bring it into the light. We really discover our ability as powerful manifestors and creators in our life. So both of these energies, of course, need to be a part of our life experience. We want to be grounded in our body. We are here to enjoy the pleasures of this world. And in order to fully do that, we can't ignore the inner emotional states that need our attention, the healing work. So that's kind of the dynamic that's at play here with this Taurus Scorpio axis. Now, the moon is also exalted in the sign of Taurus. So when a planet is in its exaltation, it is so powerful. So a moon in Taurus is very grounding. It is very centering, and it brings us back home to our body. When we are on a spiritual path, sometimes it's easy to just spend time in those upper chakras to want to escape. But the thing is, we're here on purpose. We're meant to be in these bodies, enjoying this earthly experience. And Taurus reminds us of that. It's like, come back down to earth, come back to your body, take time to ground. And there's something so potent and powerful about that. And it also invites us to open up to the beauty that surrounds us, to notice it, to celebrate it. And as we consciously notice it and consciously and intentionally celebrate it, we amplify it in our world. Now, this full moon is happening next to Jupiter. So Jupiter is playing a very key role in this full moon energy. And Jupiter is the planet of abundance, the planet of expansion. So when it's next to the moon, it can definitely amplify emotions that may have felt buried and hidden, especially where it's an eclipse. There can be a lot that's coming to the surface to be processed. Jupiter is also associated with optimism. So I am feeling there's a hopefulness here. There's a hopefulness as you step into this next chapter of your journey, a recognition of how far you have come, the inner work you have done. With Taurus, it's also the external manifestations. Like, take time to celebrate that, because the shadow side of this energy, especially when Jupiter is involved, is it's this energy of constant searching or needing more, and thinking that our joy is continually in the next adventure. The grass is greener on the other side. Instead of, no, joy is found where I am today. I carry the joy with me. The grass is green where I water it. So we want to be aware of some of the lower octave expression of this energy, and where within ourselves we may be in this constant searching energy, this constantly seeking more, but never allowing ourselves to arrive and enjoy the moment. So it's an interesting dynamic there. There's also a theme of abundance. So Taurus and Scorpio are the money signs of the zodiac. So there's certainly money patterns that can come into your awareness at this time. Your relationship with money, does it serve you? Where are you giving your power away to money? What is the path forward that you envision when it comes to money? All of this can really take the spotlight. And in Taurus, this moon conjunct Jupiter down here. So we have the moon at 5 degrees, Jupiter at 11 degrees, both in the sign of Taurus. It is that reminder that abundance is your true nature. Abundance is the truth of the universe. And when you strip away the programs that keep you in lack and scarcity, you can clearly see it is the truth of who you are. It is the truth of the universe. I know I always use this example of, like, take a walk by the ocean. Take a walk in nature and you'll see we live in an abundant, beautiful universe, and you are not separate from that. You are one with that. So some other themes that are at play here. So Venus is the ruler of this full moon, and it is over here in the sign of Virgo. Venus was also the ruler of the solar eclipse. So basically, it's just ruled over eclipse season. And Venus is the goddess of love, of beauty, of prosperity. So again, we see that theme of money, of abundance, of wealth. With Venus as well, that theme of beauty, allowing pleasure in, looking at where we are in this energy of I need to work harder, instead of allowing ourselves to step back and receive the rewards of the work we put in. It's that constant thriving energy that we want to be aware of when it comes to a point where it no longer serves us. So we all know that, yeah, we can take action, and working hard produces results. Like, that is not a novel idea. We know that. This is simply about there's another way as well. And this eclipse season is awakening us to another way, making us aware of the power of our mindset, the power of our energy, our ability to receive, our ability to allow in what it is that we desire. Now, with a trine here to Uranus as well, so Venus trining Uranus, this is also a recognition of how what you love has changed and evolved as well. So allow yourself to keep up with who you are today. We go through seasons and chapters of our life, and at different times our focus is in different places, and it's okay to reassess and ask, what is a priority today? Not only is it okay, it's going to be a part of living a fulfilling life, continually checking in and asking, what lights me up in this season? What's a priority in this season of my life? Where is my focus best placed in this chapter of my journey? So another planet that is in the spotlight during this eclipse is Pluto. Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. So we currently have the Sun, Mercury, and Mars all in Scorpio. Pluto is now moving direct as well. So Pluto is the planet of transformation, the planet of death and rebirth. And that's why there's a big theme not only of abundance with this eclipse, but of inner transformation, of recognizing how far you have come on your journey, of allowing yourself to keep up with who you are today. That's a big message that's coming in. Keep up with who you are today, not who you once were. So this can also mean detaching from the labels that others can place onto us, detaching from the labels we may have carried with us that actually don't feel good and don't align with what we now want to create and experience. So some other planets really coming into focus here. Mercury in Scorpio is really getting my attention. It's 5 degrees away from the sun, so that means it's also opposing the moon and Jupiter here. And it's also very close to Mars in Scorpio. So this is really, really interesting. So Mercury governs our thought process. In Scorpio, it can be our subconscious mind, our subconscious programming, and it's a time to up-level our belief system. But this also has to do with our throat chakra, with the words we use, with the power that our words hold. So I keep hearing like words can sting. People can be intense during this eclipse with Mercury, Mars conjunct in Scorpio. Like there's an intensity there. There can also be a passion that's there as well. So I think each of us wants to be aware of how we are communicating and relaying information. And it's not our responsibility. How people take what we say is not our responsibility, but we can certainly look at, am I happy with how I am communicating, how I'm relaying information? Where can I clean that up a bit? Am I saying things, but I'm not actually capturing the true intent? So being aware of that, communication, the power of our words, how they influence the people around us. With this opposition, Mercury opposing Jupiter, this can be expanding into new ideas, new divine downloads. Like, oh my goodness, I channeled a whole program this eclipse season that just came through around the Superconscious Mind. So I'll attach the link below to that. There's so many ideas that can come through. If you're an entrepreneur right now, pay attention to the messages you're getting from your dreams, the programs that want to be birthed through you. Be okay with that. It may look different than you thought, and just like roll with it, because these are new ideas. This is a match to know who you are today, not who you once were. So this is a really expansive energy as well, expanding into new possibilities, expanding into new opportunities. Now, the sun is also forming a trine here with Saturn. And this is interesting because in eclipse season, we talk a lot about karma because we're working with the nodal axes, which is our destiny. It links us to our past as well as the highest timeline that our soul intended coming into this incarnation, that we can always choose moment to moment. Saturn is also connected to our karma, and it's forming a trine here with Scorpio. So again, the message I'm hearing is celebrate how far you have come on your journey. Don't stay stuck in like karmic cycles that you have outgrown, because we do have free will. So we get to create with these energies. So we have to look at where we are allowing ourselves to stay stuck, to not make new decisions, to not grow, where we are continuing in the same conversation, the same way of living day in and day out, even when we know it no longer serves us. And we have to be willing to create a change there. And this full moon, you're going to be called to change. You're going to be called to grow and expand really rapidly. I even see accelerated healing happening here of karmic patterns that may have been at play for a long time. You're like, oh, I'm free of them. I'm emotionally free. But there is an element of us needing to do the work. Anytime Saturn comes into the mix, it's like, are you doing the work? So we are so supported by universal forces, by our higher self, your spirit team. There's so much love and support, and we have to do the work. We get to do the work as well. Yeah. And again, with Venus ruling this full moon, it's also like, there can be an interesting dynamic here of diving deep, doing the healing work, doing the shadow work, but then not forgetting that, hey, life is meant to be good and playful and fun as well. So we're like going to the depths, but come back up for air. Don't get lost in the depths. Make sure you come back and enjoy, appreciate, feel that sense of gratitude. Be supportive. Venus also represents our connections, and we're not meant to do this on alone. Like, allow ourselves to be supported on our path, supported on our journey. So really beautiful full moon here, beautiful energy. So some takeaways for all of this, where this is a full moon, let me know below. What are you releasing and clearing? What are you stating that it's time to let go of? Where it's happening next to the North Node, what is the new path you are now embarking on? This has been a theme for a little while. It's accelerated with this eclipse. What is the new version of you that is now emerging, the new chapter that you are now stepping into? And if you would like to celebrate these energies in Malibu, I am hosting a lunar eclipse retreat. I have a beautiful beach home. The theme is abundance. So I'll attach the details for that below, as well as the newest creation, the Superconscious Mind, rewiring your brain for prosperity and business growth. And just sending you all so much love this eclipse season. Thank you for being on this journey with me, and I will see you very soon. Enjoy creating in these energies. Bye for now.